校，因为 IB 其实在瑞士日内瓦那边创立的嘛，所以他对 IB 是非常熟悉的人，那他也很热情，所以我们也希望老师们能够去到瑞士，所以我在今年我也拜托他们说，你们可不可以去那边看看，为我们的老师们铺路，因为老师们希望能够去那边做暑假，去那边做一些真人研习。因为毕竟你在台湾教育那么久了，你真的很难改变思维。台湾的评量文化是不一样的，跟国外是不一样，所以他们要去那边增广见闻，增加他的改变他的思维，真的很难。所以我希望能够在暑假也带老师们去瑞士。OK， 那这些都是我希望能够让家长知道我们到底在做什么。你们交了钱，我们做了哪些事？我希望你们的钱是有意义的。但是我也先说明，我们的老师真的是很辛苦，他们出去真的不是享乐，他们是压力非常大的，那个观课啊，那个很紧凑的。OK， 所以他们回来之后，我就希望他们说，能你可以分享一下，让大家知道你们到底做了什么事，那个钱就会花得有意义，而且未来也会乐于花这些钱，让老师们能够出去好好去增广见闻，为了孩子着想。所以我要做的是这些事情，所以我拜托他们2位是不是，拜托他们3位是不是可以帮忙做一下分享会？这是对家长，那我还会请他们对校内老师，因为校内老师我希望能够外溢效应，让他们知道说，原来未来如果参加 IB 老师有机会可以去参与这些活动，他们未来参与的比例有可能会拉高一点吧。我们希望做到这件事情 ，OK， 所以我希望他们能够帮忙，所以他们也被我熬了啦，因为晚上留下来加班。OK， 好，所以拜托大家，就我们一起来感谢我们的老师，好不好？好，接下来我就把棒子交给青宇。
好。然
后因为我临时有个事，所以我出现，待会我还会回来。
最好要回来，不然就我们加班时间不是很好。So until now, can you understand what he said? A little bit. Okay, 好。Even my English is not very good, I still try to speak in English. But if I cannot convey myself clearly, I will transfer to Chinese part, or my partner will help me to translate. Is that okay? That would be more friendly. For other two parents, is that okay? Okay, great. So I just want to let you know, actually we have the presentation last week about Turkey to teachers. And we're going to have a presentation about Switzerland this Thursday. And so that is only one section for parents. So I hope you can try to ask more questions, and then we can interact, we can share our reflection and interact with you. So now I'm going to let you know what did we do in Switzerland and Turkey. But I think the most beautiful part is our reflection. So I want to share our reflection to you. Okay, so I will be the main person to introduce what we did in Turkey. But our vice president, what I want you to do is to share how he conquers the language barriers and can interact with the members in Taiwan Center. I think he can be a model. He can be a model for students. Even you cannot speak Turkey, you cannot speak English fluently, but you still can try to survive there successfully. I think that's the most important part. So is that okay? Great. So the first part is where is Taiwan Center? I think most of you don't know where is it. So I'll give you a very, very brief introduction. We have to fly, we have to spend 10 hours to fly from Taiwan to Turkey, Istanbul, and fly from Istanbul to here. It's Hatay Airport. And the Taiwan Center located in Rehana. And why I want to show the map is because I wanted to know Rehana is really close to the border of Syria. So that's why Taiwan Center built there, because they want to accept refugees from Syria because of the civil war. 就是内战 civil war, yeah. So and why we have a refugee Taiwan Center, because our government funded to build up the center to try to give them the services, and we went there to try to explore what we can do and how we can help our students to explore, to see the world. Okay, so this is Taiwan Center. So I am the Vice President Wen Yi. Visited there from the January 20th. So that's the one day before the Lunar New Year. 就是春节期间。So that's very interesting part because we have to convey our family. It's not easy because it's just very important holiday for Taiwanese. Yeah, but fortunately, I think our members support us to be a risk taker. So we made it. And then why we want to be there, I have to say the first part is because we invited the CEO of the Taiwan Center to have a lecture for our students to tell us what he did and what does the Taiwan Center provide for the refugees. And he invited our teachers to be there to try to evaluate is that safe enough and how our students or teachers can do for that. So anything they would not give our answers or what you need to do, but they want to let us know there's a lot of possibilities we can do in the center. So the first part is they invite us, and then we try to invite the teachers. Any teachers want to visit there during the Lunar New Year. So we have an online meeting with the members in Taiwan Center. Those two girls they work in Taiwan Center, and they are very honest because they try to let us know the real situation of Taiwan Center. So after the meeting, nobody want to go. It's very, very dangerous. And so I don't want that. That's a really great opportunity. So I said, if no one wants to go, maybe that's the best time. But for me, I don't have kids, so I can go. So I decided I would like to go, and he worried about me. So he said, I go with you. And why should I be there? I have to spend my time and money to be there. So I have to think about what's the reason supporting me to do that. So actually, I asked them what can we do for Taiwan Center. And they gave me some, this Chinese part, but they give me some reasons. But my reasons is these three reasons. The first part, I think it's not easy work to work in Turkey and for Syrian people, and we are Taiwanese. This is very, very different culture. How can they make it? It's too difficult. So I want to know how the Chou Zhenyu, is the CEO of the Taiwan Center, how can he make it? So I want to see in my eyes. I want to know what's the situation. And the second part, there are a lot of global issues can be discussed, can be seen in Taiwan Center about the refugees, about the politics, about the human rights and the cross-cultural understanding. So that's why I want to be there to experience what's going on, and I can share the experience with my students and teachers. And the third part is for our IB students. If we want them to jump out of their comfort zone to see what's the situation, we need to know, we should be the first one to show we can do that and the student can do that. So that's why we want to do it. Actually, just very selfish reason. We want to for our Taiwanese. So that's why I want to be there. And what we did in the Taiwan Center, before that, I want to let you know, what does the Taiwan Center work for? Actually, this is my understanding after visiting. I thought the Taiwan Center is now a refugee camp. Can I say that? Refugee camp. So if this is a camp, I try to give you food, water, sanitation, something like that. But Taiwan Center is a little bit like an education center. They try to give you a space, a venue to that the people in the community can interact with each other, and sometimes they will try to provide the vocational training for the refugees, and they can they can try to earn money by themselves, and they can help their family. So that's my understanding. So you can try to understand what the courses mean. For example, I can see they invited a Turkish teacher to teach students how to speak Turkish. Because if you are Syrian refugees, you have to know how to speak Turkish, and then you can communicate with the Turkish people and then help them to try to live Rehana successfully. But they still want the student to understand the Arabic calligraph. I don't know what's that, but that is art. And the most important part is English classes, but it's really challenging for the teacher. There are just only one English teacher to provide the English courses for students from 5 to 6 to 50 and 60 years old. It's very challenging even for our English teachers. So I thought they need more English teachers to support them. And they also offer some venues for students can play soccer as a football, soccer in the Taiwan Center. I don't know why at first, and then they told me it's a good opportunity for children of Turkish children or Syrian children can interact with each other. If they love to play together, and then they would not fight with each other. That's a soccer. And for the environmental education, they ask students to bring plastic bottles as tickets, and then they can enter the Taiwan Center. And they teach them how to clean the bottle, how to do the recycle, to help them clean the city, make the city more cleaner. So I think what they did is they're trying to let the community become better. Okay, I cannot speak longer, but just that you know this career training, all the women, they can make bag and sell the bag to Taiwan Center, and the Taiwan Center will sell the bag to the world, and they can earn money. Okay, so that's what I did, what I see in Taiwan Center. And there are two programs that are going to operate in summer vacation. The first part is kitchen. They built up a kitchen that has already, is standing in production. So they built up a kitchen. They say they want the people can share their hometown foods. 可不可以这样讲吗？家乡菜 home dishes to, I can share my Taiwanese food, you can share Turkish food, Indonesian food. So people will try to make friends from the food, starting from the food. So this is the kitchen, and there's a laundry room. I'm very curious about why they want to build up a laundry room, because they say it's not easy to buy a machine in their house. So a lot of refugees who cannot have clean clothes, you can smell something. And it's not easy for the Syrian children to make friends. And the second reason, they said if the woman can gather in Taiwan Center to do the laundry, it's also another opportunity for them to interact with each other. So if they can interact with each other in Taiwan Center, they will help the Syrian people to live in Turkey city successfully, or I can say sustainably. Okay, so that's what we did in Taiwan Center, because it's the Lunar New Year, so I tried to teach them how to write a Chinese calligraph or Taiwanese calligraph. I'm really bad at that, but in that, I'm the master. Yeah, I'm the master. I'm so happy I did not bring my Chinese teacher today. Yeah, and the second part is our vice president. He's also a PE teacher, so he brought that. I don't know how to describe that. 怎么讲
alcohol.
Alcohol, I don't know about that, but that's really, isn't that it's human nature? When you see something, no matter where are you from, you're trying to, play, and somebody can communicate because of their body language. So the atmosphere becomes so happy, okay? And then, we bring a lot of materials to there. Yeah, a lot of materials today. So that's what we did in Taiwan Center. And there's 3 people I want to introduce to you. The first one is this girl. She's just 28 years old, and she's architecture. She helped the Taiwan Center to that's what she did. She tried to build a lot of spaces for Taiwan Center and tried to find someone to do the construction. And she's just 28 years old. And I asked her, why did you want to do that? Don't you want to pursue a better job? You got a very good diploma. She got a diploma from Chengda University. Yeah, so actually she can find a better job. What is better job? The job which can help you to earn more money. But she's very curious about to look at me and say, wow. I'm just really curious about that. That's what I did. Why did you ask such a very interesting questions? And I said, why don't your parents worry about you? You are a girl and you stay here and you did a job, cannot earn a lot of money. What's wrong with your parents? And she said, They support me. They just want me to do what I want to do. Okay, that's the first girl. That's the second girl. She's also got a master's degree from England. And she's really interested about the human rights and refugees and immigrants, something like that. And when I also asked the same question to her. I said, why you're here? She, I just want to do anything about related NGO. That's my career. So I just think about what kind of education, what kind of family can have the girls, skills like that. I really admire it. Even when I was a child, when I was a teenager, or when I was 28, 29 years old, I never thought about these things. I just thought of how I can make more money to help to survive. Wonderful. Okay, 2 girls. And there's another boy. That's Wei. I hope you can interview him, what he did in Taiwan Center. But very unfortunately, when we left, there's very severe earthquake happened in Turkey, very close to the Rihanna, where I visited. So now the Taiwan Center is not an educational center. The Taiwan Center turned it in 临时避难所 temporary shelter 是吗 ？Because temporary shelter right now they try to offer food, electricity, clothes, and housing and food. Food over there. But there's a video I want to share with you. Is that possible? Can we show the video? Yeah, please have a look. Yeah. Oh, there's no sound here. But that's okay. It's fine. You can see the situation here. That's the term. So you can see the kids up there.
We have to turn off.
This is a unit.
We have to turn off the sound because there will be echo from this machine.
Okay.
It's okay. You can see the picture. There's only one point I want you to observe. I will let you know later. So now they try to give the water, food to the refugees impacted by the earthquake. There's a journalist, they went to Taiwan Center to film the real situation. The girl I just mentioned, see? Yeah, and this is the unit. This is their office. Okay. When I came back, I know every one of them, so I can feel very strong connection with them. Okay, you will get a PPT, so you can watch that later. But that's a very, very important picture I want you to see in this video. And there is a very severe earthquake yesterday, so I'm a little bit worried about them right now. Okay, that's Maggie Creek. Here, oh yeah, and here. I just want to show off. That's what I did. I just want to show off. You have to be on the TV. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm very childish. I just let you know, hey, you can see, that's what I did. Okay, so after earthquake, I think Taiwan Center have a different function and hope they can get a normal before summer vacation, but I think that's very difficult. So let's see, we'll see how we can help Taiwan Center. Okay, so what I learned in this journey, there's something I want to let you know. The first part is this part, the fear from imagination. Before I make decision, I'm really afraid about that. So when I make decision, I told my husband that I may not come back. So where is my money? Where is my password? And I buy the insurance with very high amount and to let you know maybe that's the first time you can see me. I'm really afraid of that. But what's the fact? The city before the earthquake, the city is quite safe. On the whole journey, he always asks me, who told you that's a dangerous city? It looks very convenient. Who told you that's a very developing country that looks very easy to survive? And I said, no, they just told me that's very dangerous. And I tried to imagine maybe I would die there. Okay, what's the point? Or maybe the world is not safe. But you have to try to guide your children to explore the word, and then he or she will come back to share with you. Is it safe or is it dangerous, and how can they survive? How can they conquer? And the third point I want you guys to know is you have to trust your kids, just like I trust myself. I trust my vice president. I trust we have the ability to survive in any circumstance which may not be, comfortable or convenient or with a lot of resources. That's human. Human will try to find a way to survive. So don't be afraid to tell your kids to go somewhere. Maybe you're worried about that, but she's stronger than what you imagined. And the second reflection, what I want to do is, I want to encourage all the kids try to, jump their comfort zone to say the word. And what's the point is, you go out to meet the people from different countries. You try to connect with them, maybe conflict with them, but there's more connection to help you to explore your mind, to help you develop your open-minded. And when you know the people who has a story connection with you, you will try to understand why peace is so important. There are some values we have to support. All the human beings have to support that. That is peace. If you care about peace, you are trying to take actions to support the value. That's my point. So I wanted to share the story with you. There's a girl, her name is Iran. She led us to explore the city during the visit. But when I left Turkey, I heard the earthquake news. I'm very worried about her. I texted her, and she did not email. She did not reply me at first. After 3 days, she replied me, so I'm safe. Oh, before I text her, before the earthquake, she texted me, so don't forget that you have home in Turkey. When you come back, don't worry, don't be afraid to bother us. We are your family in Turkey. I said, okay, yes, okay. But after the earthquake, I start to worry about, is she safe? Is her family safe? And she did not reply to me in these 3 days. I'm really worried about her. And she replied me, saying, yes, she's safe, but she lost her houses. They don't have house to live, and they don't have electricity to use the cell phone to commute with others. And I started to think, there's a lot of earthquakes happened all over the world, but this is the first time I want to do something. This is the first time I want to donate. I want to say, I want to do something for them, because I have a connection with Iran and who try to take care of us during the visit. So that's my point is that kids go out the world. She or he will make a lot of friends. And when she try to explore the world, she will try to know what the peace or what the equity, what the justice is so important. Okay, I cannot speak too much. And then I have to say, Taiwan can help is not slogan. Because Taiwan is not recognized by some countries, especially we will be attacked by Chinese government. But Taiwan can help because Taiwanese people have a very good soft power. Can I say that? And what is soft power? Soft power, my explanation is the IB, the learner profile, and the skills what we emphasize frequently in school. So if your kids can have the skills of the attributes, don't worry about them. They will survive better than you. Okay? That's also another thing. If students can try to participate in the global issues, they will have more critical thinking. So I will not talk about the details. That's my reflection. And what we can do in the future, I don't think we have an answer right now. But I would like to promote class for you. So when I ask the same question to students, what we can do for the Taiwan Center, before they answer me, they will ask a lot of questions. Okay, so when they try to inquire, they will try to find the answers. If they find the answers, they will try to take actions. When they take actions, they will try to think whether their actions is right or not. And that is the loop of cause emphasized. Okay, so
I just want them to know, CAS is really, really valued core curriculum in IB. And after this trip, I really love CAS. I think CAS can help your children become a better students, a better people in the future. Okay, so that's my reflection, and I would like to invite my partner. We need to share what he learned, just one point in this journey. 你可以说中文 or you can use your body language.
你怎么可以讲不起来？
不是，我跟你讲，他 body language better than my English.
会腐烂。
My English is not good enough, so I prefer to speak in Chinese. 这一次去土耳其的这个旅程当中啊，其实我觉得没有像青宇说的这么的夸张，因为我们的在生活的过程当中，其实本来就是一直在面对问题，然后挑战问题，解决问题。所以我跟青宇这次出去，然后他看到我在整个过程当中可以很自在的。Just like use salam， 就是叙利亚啊，就是跟他们打招呼。对，那其实我觉得就是这些一些语言，就是我们在互动过程当中，其实我们就是用开放的心态去面对。对，所以在那整个过程当中，其实问我说学到最大的是什么？其实应该说我有实际的一个体验，我可以真的去了解到当地的一些文化。那这也是当初。当然是担心他一个人自己出去，所以想要陪伴他去啊。对，那我自己收获也是蛮多的。对，好，谢谢。
就这样吗？那我要补充，我是到了国外就会不知道如何是好的人，and I try to communicate with people in English, even they don't understand me. I still try to, speak English. That's useless. It's not useful. And I found that he's trying to use very simple language and his body language to communicate with people. And it works. It works. There's two stories I want to share with you. The first one is he tried to say hello to everyone when he works on the streets. I said, what are you doing? I'm so shy. Don't do that. But he tried to say hello to everyone.
Not hello, salam.
Oh, yes, salam. Yeah, okay. And he thought, 不知道怎么讲，那个 vendor 还是那个水果摊，就这种，just go inside and try to say, just I don't know what did he did. He just tried to talk to everyone, even they don't understand what he's doing. What he talk.
It's just open-minded to communicate with others.
But the best part is they're trying to say hello to them, and they feel very happy. They're foreigners are interested in me, and they try to take picture with us. Even I don't know why you want to take picture with us. And that's a very beautiful story. And that's the first time we don't have any cash to buy our breakfast. We just have a credit card and the US dollars, but they only just accept the Leila, okay? But we are very hungry. So we don't want to bother stay from Taiwan Center, so we try to help ourselves. And then we went to a bakery, and we tried to use credit card, we use US dollars, and it doesn't work. And because maybe he always say hello, so the owner just give the bakery. I said, what? I can't. That's the first one. That's the soul skill. It's better than my English is better than him, but I would not survive in Turkey. He will survive in Turkey. A lot of students can learn from him. And the second part, he told me, hey, you said IB learner profile. Well, there's one attribute is IB learner profile is risk taker. And he told me, I don't think risk taker is enough. You should tell students should be a risk controller. Yes, there's a lot of risk, maybe a lot of risk. You can try to jump out of your comfort zone, but you still have to survive. So you need to evaluate what you can do and what you cannot do, and then you can make you can make things better, maybe like that. So he tried to tell me that, and I said, oh yeah, this is really good. So sometimes I do that, and he would say, no, that's too dangerous. I want to do something. He would say, I'm afraid to do something, but he was trying to explore something you never know the possibilities you will meet. So that's he told me. So
I think you can learn a lot of things from him if you have chance to travel with him. So I have already met him for 12 years, but this is my first time I found out, oh my God, you are not IB student, but you are really an IBer. Okay, so that's what I want to share with you. And then I'm sorry we are running out of time. Then we have 20 minutes for Switzerland. So why we went to Switzerland? Why we went to Switzerland? 在哪里？我怕来不及。Okay. So why we go to Leipzig, we will tell you. And the Leipzig means Leipzig American School located in Switzerland, Geneva. And the school is private school, also boarding school. And the picture you see these two elders, they are the founders, 他们是创办人。They are second generation founders. So this is a very historical boarding school. And they offer they have students from grade 7 to grade 12. And why we went there, that's a beautiful story. Because he went to visit us last November. At first, we don't know why you want to visit our school. And actually, honestly, I don't want to host him. I thought, I'm so busy, I don't want to host it anymore. But I still have to say yes. And then the beautiful story starts. So the guy is Paul Manchin. He is, teacher coach in Leipzig. And Leipzig is a very historical IB school. And we host him enthusiastically. 可以这样的吗？很有热情。Yes. Okay. We showed him a campus tour. I talked a lot of interaction with him. And he found他就是很受宠若惊。要怎么讲
he felt pampered.
You know, he said he had to do something as God. Yeah, so, and then he said, I would like to invite you to visit our school as a visiting scholar. You just pay the tickets and all accommodation is free. So I just went to visit there for 1 week with joy. But me, I trying to know how do they run an IB and how can we find a PD for our IB teachers. So I find more connection with the IB school. But I also invite Joy. She is trying to find more opportunity for international education, and she is also IB teacher. She can learn a lot strategic strategies, maybe from their school or their teachers. So that's why we went there. And then what we did in Leipzig. Okay, well then, so everybody is cool right now so far, because a lot of information bombarding tonight, right? Okay, so we spent a fulfilling week in lesson. Then a fulfilling week is like this. So we did a lot of class observations. I dare say I actually calculated while I waited there. We visited classes except for math and science. Unfortunately, we didn't meet any teachers during that week in those two subjects, but for the rest of the subjects, we observed everything. We actually observed all the social studies, geography, even psychology, business management, a lot of English B classes, and a lot of TOK classes too. We also visit some new subjects like makerspace. Have you ever heard of it? 创客，很像我们年代的那个工艺、生活科技，然后要做车床啊 ，sewing machine, or 3D printers, etc. So it is called makerspace. It's a very new idea or concept to put in curriculum, and they did it every week. 3 hours every week. And we also visit the class of entrepreneurship. 企业，所以创业 so they got to create their own business. They have to try it out. So from scratch, from interview their parents to, pitch their idea to bosses Okay, they invited. Then, so we did a lot of class observations and we benefited a lot, which we will introduce later. Then we also have a lot of conversations with teachers, of the subject teachers and coordinators, including TOKEE and DPC. And also we benefit from dialogues with other visiting scholars. As you can see from the last picture, so from this beautiful picture here, you will see Fendi. Then on the very right and the left are other visiting scholars during that month. So they have this beautiful visiting scholar programs to invite teachers all over the world to visit their schools. Although they have to pay for our meals, accommodation, but they also benefit from hearing different perspectives all over the world. So I think this program is genius. Okay, hopefully one day we can also install this kind of program in our schools so that we can benefit from each other. Okay, so then from there we actually take the advantage of consoling and mentoring with those teachers. So we actually recruit a lot of teachers who are willing to be our consuls and mentors then after we come back. So we hope this kind of a cooperation or interaction to be ongoing. So if it's not ongoing, it's not worthwhile, right? Because we withdraw periods after the trip, then it doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, so what's so meaningful is that we keep contact with those teachers, visiting scholars, and coordinators. We actually had a meeting today to talk about to have online meetings with those teachers to be our mentors in the future so that we can keep improving, okay? And we also benefit from talking to different students, including Taiwanese students we found, like we found three Taiwanese students from, like among 100, a little bit over 100 students there, we found 3. So we actually surprisingly talking to them to learn how they feel about the IB program there, living abroad, surviving in a boarding school in a totally different environment, and their opinions, their very honest opinions about that school. Okay, so which we will share later again. Then we also talked about the summer plans for the teachers and the students. So for all the parents to know that we plan or try to recruit students to go over lesson during the summer for their summer school. Okay, they have a very brilliant and summer school for a long time. So they are experienced and it's a brilliant summer program, which we will also introduce later. Then, and also we hope that we can invite those visiting scholars and teachers to come to Taiwan, where we can go to Switzerland for further professional development for our teachers as well. Okay, so that's summer plans. And finally, they have this kind of international trips going on for a long time. So they have weekly international trips. They have monthly international trips to go to different countries in Europe. So students can freely sign up those trips. Okay, and it's amazing, isn't it? So what's worthy is our thoughts and reflection. And first of all, this is truly, it's not because the principal or all the coordinators here, that's why I say so. It's because this is truly the first impression after the whole week. Okay, I feel like when I talk to my coworkers, I would say the very same thing. I feel this trip is a boost of confidence to me because I feel from students' perspectives, we always feel like in English we say the grass is always greener on another mountain. ，right？ 外国的月亮永远比较圆。right？ 看别人的山头，永远觉得比较绿 ，OK？ 或者是看别人的孩子，不是我们会讲说别人家的孩子吗？永远都比较好。我不知道大家有这样的感觉吗 ？But I found it's really not true, okay? Because dear students, we actually witness this in class while we observe it. They make noise, they horse around, they chase each other, they put down other people on the floor and then try to get into fights, okay? And the teachers had to stop them in front of us, okay? And the teacher had to say that stop, and they would put on a long face. And they would try to argue with the teacher, and the teacher had to stop them again. They would do this kind of things, okay? So behavior-wise, we see, whoa, daily life, like in a lesson and also in, all the schools in Taiwan maybe, okay? And they also put a basket on the desk in front of the teacher. So if the students kept using their favorite thing, smartphone, their favorite thing is no longer teachers or parents, right? Their favorite thing is smartphone. The teachers would take the smartphones into the basket. Then after school, after class, they would take their cell phones away by themselves. Or once they enter the classroom, the teacher will immediately take away their smartphones. Okay, so are we doing the same thing? Okay, so we always think that, Western world is more democratic, we're more conservative, we try to do, all the hard things. But no, they are doing the very same thing too, okay? And for ambition-wise, we actually, when we visit the makerspace class, they are making some kind of craft. Okay, so one of the students tried to make a bookshelf. Literally, he put 2 planks together. 就一个木板，然后就这样。And he tried to submit that work without any decorations, nothing else. Just all he did is just put nails, maybe a couple of nails between these 2 planks, and that's it. And the teacher was so shocked, and the teacher asked him again and again, "Are you done? Are you sure? Do you want to submit your work like this? Really?" Okay, again and again. But he kept arguing with the teacher, and the teacher would say, "Yeah, fine." Okay, so sometimes I feel like I also see students with very little ambitions too. Okay, and for language, we might feel like in an international school, like a lesson, their English level is quite high because they are forced to use English to communicate with each other, right? But actually, I visited probably 3 or 4 English B classes with all different students of all ages. Their English level is very similar to our students because I teach English B. So I dare to say that their English is pretty much similar, okay, to our students' proficiency of English, okay? So we shouldn't feel like, they must be better, they must be,
And ask
yeah, they have different accent because they make mistakes too, okay? And for teachers, our teachers are certified. Because it's a public school, it's the benefits of studying at a public school, because all the public school teachers have teacher's certification, okay? In Taiwan, we have to, and we are all IB trained. Their teachers don't have teacher's certificates, okay? Because it's not required, all right? So then they are also IB trained. So there is not a lot of difference between them and us, right? And I know I once heard our principal criticize the setup of having homeroom system. But I have to say, they actually witnessed the advantages of having homerooms. So they actually put a homeroom once a week. They gave like an hour of homeroom time on their schedule. So that's family. So they have not just one homeroom teacher, they have two. One is male, the other is female. Do you know why? Because Papa and Mama. Yeah, so they call them Papa and Mama. So they have parents in that school. So they actually appreciate the setup of having homeroom teachers at school. So I know in a way, because like we don't necessarily have or appreciate the existence of homeroom teachers or even parents, right? So homeroom teacher is still debatable, but we have this really stable system of having homeroom teachers to take care of them or to care about them, to be their school mama or school papa. So I think it's a very, a good system to have. Okay, and we are all very experienced in class management, right? Okay, then for school-wise, okay, we didn't see a lot of system set up in school, but I can share one example with you. Once they try to find some simple stationery in school, but they have difficulty finding it because the campus is very wide open and there are a lot of buildings, so it's really hard to find the resources immediately. But in our school, those supports are so immediate and instant. And what I appreciate so much at Dayo when I come here is the continuous improvement. Our DPC were principal, were all the other administrators, were including teachers, try to improve themselves continuously and all the time. Like we visit different schools, we invite different people from everywhere to help us to improve. And this kind of spirit or energy really moves me. Okay, well then I will quickly share two more things. One is these three questions are something I try to discuss or even debate from day one with the teachers and lesson. I kept asking them these questions. Okay, after like a half a year, after the whole semester teaching IB students, I don't know whether you share the same questions. Okay, I kept asking myself, is gradeless a good thing? What do you think? Because in IB, after we raise our kids in our traditional system, educational system, they have quizzes, they have tests, they have, the teachers break down tests into small things, and they have quizzes, assignments all the time, and we give them grades to urge them, to push them to study, to learn, right? Okay, is it a good thing to take away the grades? Because teachers in lesson advocate this kind of concept. 他们很赞成要走完全没有成绩的路线，就不要有成绩。Then I ask, what will happen? I say they will, if we doing this, they will fail. And their answers, so these are their answers. They say what we need to do is to wait. Let them fail. And I ask, if they fail the whole month, the whole semester, the whole year, what will happen? Should we wait for the whole year? The answer they gave is yes. Just let them fail. But what is the most important is to reflect. To have them reflect, so we will do a circle. We will sit these kids in front of us and ask them to reflect what they did for the past semester, a year. What is most important is reflection. So this is something what I, teachers, or you parents can do. Okay, at home, In school, we will have the kids reflect what they do. Okay, well, these are their answers. You might agree or disagree. I kept going back and forth. Okay, I didn't buy it 100%, I have to say. Okay, but because we are working with human beings, not robots, so our answers are fluctuating. It's flowing. It's not fixed, right? Okay, and it varies from student to student. Okay, second thing I want to ask myself is student-centered. You know, IB program says that we have to make students masters of their own, right? We shouldn't decide for themselves. They decide what they want to learn and when they want to learn it. Okay, then I say completely, I really question that's how much we should let go and let them learn. I can give you one example. One of my students questions when I give them vocabulary handouts, and I still give them vocabulary quiz, okay, after units. And they like that kind of quiz. They say it's a kind of push for me to learn. And I say, okay, if you want this, then I'll give you that. But a lot of times they fail their vocabulary quiz still. And they will argue with me, why do I need to learn this word? For example, pension, 养老金. Why do I need to learn pension? I would never use this word. And I would say, oh, never, ever? Okay, I wasn't arguing with them, but you know, this is their attitude. When they make mistakes, they find excuses for their own mistakes. But it's fine, okay? According to them, they didn't learn this word, so what? When they need it, they will learn it. Okay, so they said what we adults or teachers or parents are worried is that we always think that's in case they need it in the future and we didn't equip them with this kind of ability, it will hurt their future. But what we need to see or emphasize is to teach what students need in time right now, not what they might need in case in the future. So I would give you this sentence they gave me for you to think about, because I'm still thinking about this, okay? I think it makes sense, but sometimes I need to persuade myself as well, okay? Finally, well, when we interviewed several students, they said pre-DP year, 10th grade. It's so easy. The math is easy because, you know, 我们东方教育的数学都很难，有没有？所以到了 IB 的时候 ，IB 西方的数学就好简单，有没有？然后他们也觉得科学好简单，好多科目好简单。It's too easy, no pressure, no test, no grades, yay, right? But well, what we need to change our mindset is that we should give students something doable but still challenging. And when they go to DP1, DP year, then they would truly find the challenging things ahead of them. Okay, what we need to do is to equip them with the confidence and sense of achievements in grade 10. I don't know whether it makes sense, but we can take it home and think about this, okay? And of course, for different students, we need to do different kinds of teaching differentiation, right? Okay? And very finally, these are the answers I found, okay? These are the answers they gave me. But these are the answers I want to share after my thinking. After sitting down, these are the 4 short answers. And I forgot to put English here. I must have lost my mind, so forgive me here. My answer to mind the gap, to bridge the West and the East, is we don't step in. We don't tell them what to do. But we guide and accompany them along the way. We give them directions, we give them care and love. That's enough. Okay, and second thing, one thing I want to add on our class schedule, if it's possible in the future, is one of the class they have is called Student Success, 学生的成功经验. So they invite the students, senior students, junior students to share their successful experience or painful experiences with the younger students. I think it's really helpful in a way, okay? So maybe we can consider to put this on our schedule as well. And I want to talk about this first. Although we are also named International Senior High School, and Lesson is also an international senior high school, international high school, then they're international. They are more, we have to agree, they are more international than us. But it's an easy thing for them to do because you have to think that they are in Europe. So they borders on a lot of countries. And what are we? We are a tiny little island. We borders with ocean, right? So it's easier for them. But I have to say, it's okay not to have this kind of natural environments, but we can create internationalization in our school, okay? By incorporating open and free class observations, this kind of open and free atmosphere in our class, in our school, okay? And finally, the last thing I want to show you are some pictures, because this is something I hope that parents can support or the school can support us, is to let teachers have our own classroom. Then if we can have our own classroom, then we can make our teaching and learning more motivated. These are students' work. Teachers didn't do much to decorate the classrooms. They just put students' work on the wall. So easy, and it's amazing, isn't it? Okay, and this is inside the classroom. These are the reading corners they have. Okay, and students work again. So if my work is going to be on the wall, I would put 100% and even 200% because I don't want to lose my face, right? And also it's motivation. Because if I see, oh my God, they work, it's brilliant. I want to do that too. It's motivation. And it's cozy. And makes you want to read or borrow a book or two home, right? And also you will see some cupboards. They are students' work too. And Qinyu here is proudly presenting her experience in Turkey. So I'm very proud of her. So on this note, I'm going to have Qinyu to make a conclusion. I'm sorry we're late. So just 3 more things I would like to, very excited to share with you. This guy is Paul. Yeah, did you see the guy? It's Paul. He's very experienced IB geography teacher, and he would like to build up a company, try to give consultation for all the IB educators. And I'm the first client because I met him and I tried to discuss a lot of things, a lot of my reflection with him. And he said, interesting, I would like to become your mentor for free. So he just emailed me and said that a meeting next week. So I think we can get more, we can get more progress from his advice. And because of him, I connected to another educator from California whose name is Jonathan. Okay? And I also, the Paul, right? The Paul. He's the most important person. He can connect a lot of professional educators, IB educators for us. So I would like that to know that's really valuable journey for us, not just because of the class of observation, because of the connection and the opportunities for Darian. So there are two things coming in the coming following months. The first thing is the student summer camp, but this is optional. You can just consider whether your student would like to participate in or not. But the most exciting part is we are going to have a PT for our IB teachers. So the initial ideas we want to then can visit Switzerland. But if it's too expensive for our teachers because they have to pay, I would like to apply the budget for the PD tuition. They may around 500 to 600,000 NT dollars. If that's too expensive for our IB student teachers, I would like to invite these guys, Paul, John, Michelle, and Jonathan to Taiwan this summer for our IB teachers to learn the different perspectives of IB in different countries. So that's what we did again, not right now, but I think we can get more connection in the future. So thanks for your listening. That's all for today. I hope you can get some inspiration for us. Are there any questions?
老师，线上有家长问说，就是想知道 IB 学生有没有到欧美交换学生的机会？交换学生
exchange students.
来是吗？
他没有特别
到欧美，
来是的 tuition, I would like to share with you. 来是的 tuition, 我想大家不会想交换。来是的 tuition for 1 year is 100,000 US dollars.
Euros. So that would be over 3 million dollars
Per year.
Yeah.
Per month.
Year, not years, per year.
Per year. Per year. Yeah.
So I would encourage if students want to enjoy and broaden their mind, to develop their international mindedness, I would encourage them to go to different schools in different countries too, but maybe not exchange students for the whole year or for the whole semester, because that would be very expensive, right? But what they can do is to join what?
The summer camp.
Yeah.
Because it costs 8,000 francs. 8,000 francs is similar to euros. A little bit less than euros. It's like 250,000 NT dollars. That would be it's still pricey, right? Considering it's only 3 weeks, but nowadays those camps are expensive. But of course, it's better than 3 million, over 3 million, NT dollars a year. Okay, and they don't need to sacrifice a year. They can just experience it and still accomplish their work in Taiwan, right? Okay, so it's one of the options. It's optional. Okay, so students can also join different summer camps in different countries. Say, if they would like to study further in the UK in the future, maybe they can consider to choose one of the summer camps based in the UK.
I would like to let you know another opportunity. You can talk about Holland, Netherlands, and
Yeah, and also by the end of this year or the early next year, we will take students. We try to arrange and apply budget from our governments to take students to go to Holland and Austria for 2 weeks. Okay, so then they will go to school there to learn, to study there in their school. So they get to experience the school life there, have pen pal, meet their pen pals, and also they will get to travel a little bit. Okay, we chaperones, teachers as their chaperones, which is kind of important, right? Okay, so you can stay at home with an ease mind that they are taken care, they are in good hands, okay? And also, we try to apply for this kind of budget from our government, so they will be subsidized. Students still need to pay, but our government will pay a portion of it. Okay, and before we have this trip to Austria and Holland, 荷兰跟奥地利去之前，我们这个学期3月跟4月 then we will have online exchanges with the students from Holland
And in April, we also have those Australian students coming to Taiwan to our school to learn with us. So we set up their meeting, their pen pals, their conference, they learn their cultures and a little bit of the language, and before they actually meet each other in different countries. Okay, so this is the plan. 所以他们先做朋友，先在台湾透过视讯，或者是他们刚好要来，然后年底或明年初要去。
That's tentative.
Yeah, and also students from Holland and Austria, as I said, they will come visit Taiwan in different time this year and next year. Okay, so still students are exposed to different perspectives and cultures, even though they stay in Taiwan. Okay.
Border is open, there's more and more opportunities.
还有问家长说，可不可以用中文说明？
对不起，重讲。
好，我们就是会有我们简报是中文的，对不对？然后对，好，然后如果是这个夏令营的话，欢迎他们来这个礼拜五，然后在校史室的说明会。然后如果是前面我们讲的那个心得反思啊，那就是我们可以看简报，然后或者是之后我们家长日的时候，还会有家长日嘛，我们还会不断的把这些反思拿出来讲，也许我们带回去想一想，会有不一样的做法，对。
好，还有问题吗？没有。
好，那我们的说明，不是说明，我们今天应该就分享就到这里啦。其实抱歉，已经超过12分钟，不知道校长听完有没有想要分享，还是家长有没有想要分享新的？
家长跟现场的有没有？
You want to share your
对啊，那个土耳其，所以到底 What can we help？
那
个没有吗
I think donation may be the best way, but this is a controversial issue right now, so up to you.
好，谢谢我们老师们副校长跟他们分享，也谢谢家长们的参与哈。这个是一个很重要的历程，因为跨出去才看到外面的世界。然后很多人会觉得是外面的月亮比较圆，可是我一直觉得大学学生更可爱。大学学生真的很优质，对不对？因为我自己经历过太多，所以视野越高，你会看得心里会越踏实。其实我们做的方向是对的。OK， 好，但是我们也可以看到，莱辛是贵族学校，莱辛的学费非常非常贵，所以他们有 homeroom teacher， 甚至有2个，因为他们是 boarding school。所以我们有时候想，我们要跟他们一样吗？我们有能力跟他们一样吗？因为他们 boarding school 是他们已经脱离父母，所以他们在学校必须有爸爸妈妈，所以他才会有 female and male homeroom teacher。那我们可能就不需要。那我们期待是孩子就这样长大就好 ，OK， 所以思维上可能会不太一样，所以我们要有我们自己的想法，我们不用 follow 所有的人都一样。好，今天也有别的学校来参观我们学校，看到我们在做，他们是很感动，就说真的大家可以做得成哦，我们真的做了，而且我们越做越有信心。当然过程中还有问题，我们自己都很知道，可是这个问题就是让我们一起来解决。我们很开心是家长跟我们一起愿意来解决。这件事情其实在别的学校很难，家长通常就是等着你学校帮我解决问题，而不是一起来解决问题。OK， 那我们很幸运的，我们有很棒的家长，我们有很棒的老师，所以其实说应该得天独厚。看到他们的那个学费之后，你会觉得很感动，是我们的佛心来的。OK， 我们一起珍惜这个环境。好有一些困难我们就一起解决。那也支持我们的老师们。因为其实我蛮想说，让老师们有机会，因为那么辛苦了，那么愿意付出了，是不是有机会让他们再多去看看？看完之后回来会更有信心，原来我做的是对的，原来我还不错，他会更有信心走下去。否则，台湾最怕与众不同，因为你与众不同最容易被人家攻击，你凭什么？人家就会问你凭什么？可是我们做的是真的是对的，所以我希望大家能够支持，让老师们能够暑假去来信看看。当然会花一笔钱，这笔钱我们也是尽量都是省，想办法省。我们不希望花大笔加大的费用，可是有些东西真的不能省，该让他们出去就让他们出去。所以我真的会跟家长们对话，就希望让大家知道，学校在花家长们的钱的时候，一定用在刀口上，绝对不会浪费。好，那今天非常感谢大家。
one thing I want to share, I would like to hire the mentors from all over the world for our subject teachers. So for example, I'm just teach geography. I have no idea about English. So I would like to hire one English experienced IB teacher to help them, to give them consultation, and they can share their difficulties with the mentor. So that I would like to do in the future, in the following months. But what I got the idea from Paul, and I can get very, very qualified, very, very good IB teachers from Leipzig. So that's also another very good harvest in this journey. Yeah. Okay. So that's I want to share. Do any parents want to share when you heard these things? 分享什么吗？
可以分享一下。我可以不用麦克风没关系。
不要这样子，现在才听得到。
就是等一下线上的时候用中文，那我就用中文好了。就是 like， 因为那个刚刚也讲到说，在兰西看到那些学校的变化，还有教育的制度跟教育。